First, all the testimonies that we gave out, they have not been in the report. Yes. The evidence we reduced, it was not put in the submissions. And again, our MPs, Kaya Christine, woman MP Chiboga, and Sewung, their submissions have not been listed in the report. Yes. The report is vague. So, but I can assure you whether night or day, freedom is coming. Yes. We must be treated like Ugandans. Yes. Because we are Ugandans 100%. Yes. We are not Rwandans. We are not Rwandans, we are Ugandans 100%. That's why in every election in Uganda, we are given voters' slips to vote. Can you allow non-citizens to participate in the voting process in Uganda? We are Ugandans 100%. Byonna bye twateekayo tebibadde mu report. Ekyokubiri, ababaka baffe bye bateeka mu submission zaabwe tebabitadde mu report. N'eki abaana bye bagambye mu babazula nti banansi ba Rwanda. Jesus. Bulimbwa kikumi ku kikumi. Kankwesebo butukola how our people apply for passports. Bw'amala okwapplyinga passport, afune baluwa LC, LC3, LC5, giso ne diso na RDC. Okakasa nti oyo muntu muki muna Uganda. Bw'amala obitwalenga bagamba bino mazo bireta katireta graduated taxes abajjajjaabwe za 1926. Who has them? Mu Uganda teri abiina, ababiina be baana b'olyo lulangira. Olwa Buganda, olwa Bunyolo, ne Busoga, ne Museveni yennyini tabiina, kankubulire. Tabiina.
N'ekirala kye njagala mutegeere abamawulire, go for naturalization. That means that there is some nationality which you must first renounce.
Yes. Thank you.
You understand? Yeah. You must be having some nationality which you must first renounce so that you naturalize.
Then you should renounce being Ugandans, I think.
Then for somebody who has never had any other nationality, how does he or she naturalize? Which nationality, previous nationality, will this person renounce? Kwegamba omuntu agenda mu naturalization oyina kubanga oyina eggwanga eddala mw'obadde. Kakati omuntu atabeerangako na ggwanga ddala kwega waawano muna Uganda aneewakana ggwanga ki eddala eritabaddeewo. Naturalization mulina ogyetegeeza nti erinamu akantu ako.
Kambawe n'akafembayo kano. Clear. Egamba okubeera muna Uganda. Oyina okuba ng'obelonginga to the below listed indigenous communities n'Abanyarwanda mwe tuli. Neyonga negamba nti omuntu yenna yasangibwa mu Uganda nga 8 October 1962 a day before independence yafuuka muki muna Uganda. Ulira constitution 1995 ate nekyongeramu nti omuntu abadde muna Uganda olunaku constitution wetase eya 95 akontinuinga kubeera ki muna Uganda. N'abaana bakoze eki bazadde. Njagala bambulireyo olunaku lumu nti waliwo Munyarwanda gwe bali baganya okulonda wano. Fena tukola ki? Tulonda. Mu kulonda tuli banna Uganda, okulonda bwe kuggwa, we cease to be Ugandans. Tubonabonedde emyaka egisoba mu 3. Emyezi 2 si kye kinene. Tujja kulinda. Tubonabonedde emyaka egisoba mu 3. Abantu baffe baba ma national IDs, baba ma passports, bakyafuna mirimo, abamu tibagenze kusoma olwokuba tibalina national IDs. So emyezi 2 si kinene, tujja kulinda. But what I can assure you, freedom is coming.
Ate nze kyendabye emyezi 2 kye bategeeza executive order. Kubanga Prime Minister agambye bwe twamala osinkana President w'eggwanga yajja n'aba briefing mu cabinet nga 28 Ogwekumi. Kakati agambye bakyakola ku report eyo ku kiwandiiko ku executive process. Kati ffe tulowooza nga nze omungamba nti kati kyetulinda executive order kubanga president yatusuubiza kati bw'aba yakyanjula mu cabinet kitegeeza ebyo gye tulinda. So bwekitibwa president ndowooza emyezi 2 nagyo mingi kubanga abantu bali bubi ddala. Abantu bali bubi ddala, waliwo abalwadde.
Omukono guno mulwadde yeetaaga genda kulongoosebwa
bamuma passport. Kati executive order yanguwe yandize na Monday ejja kubanga president Museveni akisobola okituwa ku Monday ejja.
N'empozi kye tulabyemu ekirala akakiiko kano ke twasinkana kekuusa kuba byonna bye twayogera si bye bawandiise. Ababaka baffe Sewungu ne Kaaya be baayogera tebabitaddeemu. Batuse n'ogamba mbu bama passport mbu baali bannansi ya Rwanda. We are Ugandans 100%. N'ekirala baba interviewing Abanyarwanda bakyusa embuuza bakubuuza buli kintu kyonna ky'otamanyi olumala obireta nga bagamba gula obutuuze. Ngula nti obutuuze mu nsi yange mwe nazaalibwa. Lwaki mu kulonda tubeera banna Uganda?
You mean you are not satisfied with the reports of the...
Yes, very. We are not satisfied.
You can use those grounds where you were not satisfied with.
Indeed, I am going to summarize this report, but before that, I'm presenting a report of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs, which was given to us by the House to process. I beg to lay on paper.
On table.
I beg to lay on table the minutes and other documents relating to processing of this report. I beg to lay. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a report of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs on the petition of the Council for Abavandimwe regarding alleged infringements by the government on the rights of Banyarwanda who were born and raised in Uganda. I'm going to summarize this report. Right Honorable Speaker, on the 16th of April 2024, the parliamentary sitting on a Tuesday, Right Honorable Sewungu, MP for Kalungu, presented a petition, Kalungu West, presented a petition from the Council for Abavandimwe regarding the alleged infringement by government on the rights of Banyarwanda who were born and raised in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker referred this matter to the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs. Right Honorable.
We need a clarification. Who are the Bavandime? Because you are mixing Banyarwanda. Yes, but I'm listening. You are mixing Banyarwanda and Bavandime. Who are Bavandime? You define it so that we understand.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the statement is very clear. It is a petition by Abavandime, but on the matter of will explain. Have you read it?
What is your statement about?
My statement.
I try to avoid mentioning those tribal things again because you will think. Yes.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, the petition that was presented before this August House, which we processed, was on the rights of Banyarwanda who were born and raised in Uganda. But it was presented by an association of Abavandimwe. I am done with the introduction.
Why don't you people listen to the report and then you'll react
my report, Right Honorable Speaker, has a rich background, problem statement, but and it is uploaded.
And I want to tell you people, you're talking about these people, they are here. They are watching at you. And you have representatives here in the House.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, they are here. They are there. Mr. Gashumba, can you stand up with your team?
Let me quickly present the report.
Yes.
Having given the background, which is there, rich as it is, in their petition, they had specific prayers. And these are that the relevant Committee of Parliament investigates the segregation and the violation of rights of the Banyarwanda in Uganda and makes a report, which we have done. That the House urges Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control and NIRA to issue national passports and identity cards to the Banyarwanda based on their recognition by the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as an indigenous tribe in Uganda. Prayer number 3, that a Munyarwanda be appointed as an immigration officer and supervisor to facilitate a fair interview process as opposed to being interviewed by a Mufumbira. 4, Right Honorable Speaker, I am presenting a petition, as it were. Their prayer number 4, that the alleged corruption at the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration be investigated. Honorable colleagues, this is the methodology that we followed to arrive at a report being presented before this August House. The committee, while considering this petition, sought to determine the alleged government infringement on the rights of the Banyarwanda who were born and raised in Uganda. And during the process, the committee held meetings with and received written memoranda from the following. 1, the Honorable Joseph Sewungu Gonzaga, MP, the Honorable Christine Kaya Nachimwero, MP, District Woman Representative Chiboga, the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Yes, there's a procedure, Madam.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, this issue being a sensitive one, would it be procedurally right that a minister responsible for this docket is asked by the Prime Minister to come here and be there when these issues are being tabled before this House? Because I don't think these are matters to be taken lightly. These are serious issues. If the Prime Minister can look for any of these ministers to be here so that we can move in a proper direction.
Prime Minister will handle. She's a super minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I was reading the list of people we interviewed, people who submitted to us written memoranda. I had finished the above. So the National Registration Identification Authority, the leadership and representative members of the Council of Abavandimwe, the honorable people who are in the gallery. We also listened from the leadership of Omubano Association. Umubano. Right Honorable Speaker, we also reviewed the following documents: the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, the Registration of Persons Act Cap 332, Uganda Citizenship and Immigration Control Act Cap 313, and the report of Uganda Constitutional Commission of 1993, very rich document, the Odoki report. We had our findings and recommendations. I beg that I answer each prayer as presented. Prayer number 1 was that the relevant committee of Parliament investigates the segregation and violation of the rights of the Banyarwanda in Uganda and makes a report. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the committee reviewed considerations for defining a Ugandan citizenship and citizen rights according to the Uganda 95 Constitution. Specifically, the committee based on the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to establish who should be considered a citizen and the rights and obligations of a Ugandan citizen. According to Barrier, the report down there, to establish who should be considered a Ugandan citizen, the rights and obligations of a Ugandan citizen, I beg your pardon. According to Barrier, citizenship holds legal significance and is often used interchangeably with nationality. In Uganda's legal context, citizenship refers to every individual who was a citizen at the start of 1995 Constitution and remains so. In contrast, Professor Barrier suggests that nationality includes both legal and sociological dimension. The committee noted that sociologically, nationality may represent a group of individuals with the same or similar ethnicity who share common ancestral roots, language, color, and culture. These individuals can belong to an ethnic group within a specific nation or across several nations, inhabiting a common geographic area and sharing collective culture, language, and beliefs. In this context, Uganda is inhabited by various nationalities, including the Banyarwanda. The committee is aware that Chapter 3 of the 1995 Constitution outlines the different categories for qualifying as a citizen of Uganda, including citizenship by birth, citizenship by registration, and citizenship by naturalization. The Constitution recognizes individuals born in Uganda and parentage as citizens by birth under Article 10A, and acknowledges the Banyarwanda community as an indigenous community in the third schedule of the same Constitution. Article 10 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda states that the following individuals shall be citizens of Uganda by birth. A, every person born in Uganda, one whose parents or grandparents is or was a member of any of the indigenous communities existing and residing within the borders of Uganda as at 1st day of February 1926, and set out in third schedule to the Constitution. And B, every person born in or outside Uganda, one of whose parents or grandparents was at the time of birth of that person a citizen of Uganda by birth. However, Right Honorable Speaker and dear colleagues, being born in Uganda, in a country, does not automatically make one a citizen. Specific conditions must be met. For example, having parents or grandparents with diplomatic or refugee status at the time of birth may disqualify an individual as provided for under Article 12 of the 1995 Constitution. Citizenship by birth is limited to those whose parents and grandparents belong to Uganda's indigenous communities and were residents of Uganda as of 1st February 1926, when the country borders were finalized. Therefore, in Rwanda, in the Republic of Rwanda, the known ethnicities include Bahutu, Batutsi, and Batwa, who together form the Banyarwanda community. The committee observed that given Uganda's long history of receiving and maintaining Rwandese refugees in the country between 1957 and 1960, who fled during the uprising that removed the Tutsi monarchy and hegemony brackets of Rwanda, many such Banyarwanda acquired citizenship through registration since they had overstayed in Uganda and assimilated with other indigenous Ugandan groups. However, classifying Banyarwanda community and recognizing them as an indigenous group was the genesis of the citizenship problem of Banyarwanda in Uganda. It potentially makes the entire nation of Rwanda an indigenous community in Uganda. Individuals from Rwanda can claim Ugandan citizenship based on the indigenous community recognized in the Ugandan Constitution. Yet, some Banyarwanda desiring the rights of Ugandan citizenship and those who wish to become Ugandan citizens still want to maintain their Rwandan identity because of their roots in Rwanda, raising questions about their loyalty. The committee opines that removing connotation of Rwanda in the Banyarwanda title would require a constitutional amendment so that the Banyarwanda can belong to their original tribes within Uganda's boundaries, which were carved out of Rwanda Kingdom. Therefore, while the petitioners argue that Ugandan authorities are infringing on their citizenship rights concerning national IDs and passports, the Ministry of Internal Affairs explained to the committee that every applicant undergoes an interview to verify the facts detailed in the application forms, ensuring that all legal requirements are fulfilled. Since Banyarwanda born and raised in Uganda have fully integrated with the local community and no longer speak Chinyarwanda, despite having names of Rwandan origin, this makes it challenging to determine their Ugandan identity based on their Rwandan ethnicity. Therefore, if there is uncertainty about information provided by the applicant during interview, the right to demonstrate eligibility for Ugandan citizenship rests with the applicants themselves. Based on the above analysis, the committee observes that the alleged segregation and infringement on the rights of the Banyarwanda, including challenges to their citizenship, passport denials, and confiscated national IDs, arise from the dispute on whether all Banyarwanda are indigenous to Uganda. The timeline of events and the historical background regarding their classification as Banyarwanda in the Constitution will perpetuate the debate over who genuinely qualifies as a Banyarwanda residing within Ugandan borders as of February 1st, 1926. The current sieving process and legal framework is comprehensive in dealing with applicants for national IDs and passports. Ministry of Internal Affairs is obliged to issue identity cards and passports to those who qualify for Ugandan citizenship according to Uganda's laws. Thus, applicants for national identity card or passport must prove their identity as Ugandan citizens as they assert. Consequently, each application is evaluated individually based on the provisions of the Constitution. The applicant's biographical details in the application are assessed against legal criteria, leading to a conclusion based on a balance of probabilities. The committee therefore recommends that 1. Indigenous communities in the 1995 Constitution should be determined based on their ethnicity and ancestral criteria. Banyarwanda, who cannot trace their ancestral lineage but have lived in Uganda since birth, should seek alternative forms of Ugandan citizenship of naturalization or registration as outlined by the law. Prayer number 2, that the House urges Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control and NIRA to issue national passports and identity cards to the Banyarwanda based on their recognition by the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as a tribe in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, during the petition's consideration, the Banyarwanda alleged that the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control and NIRA infringed upon their rights by denying them passports and national IDs, claiming they could prove their citizenship. The committee noted that rights and privileges under Chapter 4 of the 1995 Constitution accrue to all categories of citizenship. Therefore, the primary concern for the DCIC and NIRA is to ensure that individuals are correctly identified and placed in the appropriate citizenship category to identify and issue passports and national IDs. The ministry informed the committee that officers are instructed to evaluate whether a person is a citizen of Uganda by birth based on the constitutional provisions and related laws. Each case is examined individually to ascertain if the applicant fits the defined categories. During the process, some affected Banyarwanda are directed to apply for naturalized citizenship and renounce their Rwandan citizenship before obtaining Ugandan travel documents or national IDs. As at the meeting date, NIRA reported to the committee that statistics of those Banyarwanda whose citizenship status is still under review are detailed in Table 1. The ministry further revealed that the classic examples of the individuals mentioned in the petition did not provide specific details to determine the extent in Figure 1, part of this report. And it can be forwarded. It's part of the report. Drawing from the above, the committee observes that 1, a large number of applicants for national identity cards who received a notification to cancel their registration was based on inaccurate information or fraudulent registration. 2, that the lack of a national ID severely affects the livelihood of the affected Banyarwanda, as they cannot transact with banks, enroll in school, or obtain necessary SIM cards, among other things. Additionally, Those with expired passports studying or working abroad have been denied renewal, forcing them to abandon their jobs and education. However, the petitioners did not present any proof of these allegations to the committee. The ministry issues national identity cards and passports to eligible Ugandan citizens in accordance with the constitution, adhering to strict criteria for determining citizenship and passport or ID eligibility. Individual applicants must submit personal information which undergoes assessment based on legal standards. All Ugandan applicants, including the Banyarwanda community, recognized as indigenous in Uganda, in Ugandan national ID or passport, those who do not fulfill the citizenship requirements specified in Article 10 of the 1995 Constitution are encouraged to consider naturalization or registration procedures. Under Section 57(1) of the Registration of Persons Act, Cap 332, the NIRA can cancel registration after notifying the individual to show cause against the registration. The committee therefore recommends that Rwanda's resolution process outlined in the Section 83 of the Registration of Persons Act, Cap 332, and Section 10 of the Ugandan Citizenship and Immigration Control Act, Cap 313, if they are unsatisfied with the decision made by NIRA and the DCIC respectively. NIRA has set up an internal citizenship verification committee to handle such cases. The committee is responsible for the investigating claims of citizenship by birth and providing recommendations to the management regarding whether an individual's registration should be upheld or revoked. On the other hand, the ministry has a National Citizenship and Immigration Board to address complaints. Still, if the affected does not find redress with the board, he or she can appeal to the minister. If the applicant is still aggrieved, he or she may appeal to the High Court of Uganda. 2, the Ministry of Internal Affairs should increase awareness and educate all citizens, including Banyarwanda, about their citizenship rights and obligations. This table, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, includes responses to the complaints contained in the petition of the Council of Awanda. The petition presented names to convince the committee that those were the ones denied IDs, passports, and the status. We presented these names to Ministry of Internal Affairs. Ministry of Internal Affairs responded on each and every name presented. And details are contained here. Prayer number 3. The response was that each one was denied because they either had entered the Republic of Uganda with a Rwandese national ID, which was in the system. Specific names that are here were denied because Director of Citizenship Immigration presented to the committee evidence on each and every name submitted. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, prayer number 3 of the petition was that a Munyarwanda be appointed as immigration officer and supervisor to facilitate a fair interview process as opposed to being interviewed by a Mufumbira. The petition has informed the committee that during the passport application process,
Honorable members, can you listen?
Petition has informed the committee that during the passport application interviews, approved competency over tribal affiliations. The committee believes that the ministry appreciates that many indigenous applicants might not be proficient in English. Also, officers must comprehend the relevant local languages to assess an applicant's connection to an indigenous group accurately. Therefore, the committee asserts that the ministry's administrative recruitment strategies are thoughtful and culturally sensitive, ensuring that the selection of qualified individuals suited for the immigration officer role are followed. Prayer number 4, alleged corruption at the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control to be investigated. The petitioners informed the committee that during the process of applying for passports, the immigration officials at DCIC had allegedly made it a norm
The minister is saying, I wish you could sit. It is, honorable members, the minister is saying the same team had a meeting with the president and brought up all these issues for an action. Whether you make a correction, the person to implement is government. Okay?
Right,
No. Why don't you listen? Why don't you listen? If you're not going to sit it down, honorable members, this report is going to be adopted and we want action from government. We want action. Prime Minister, we want action from you. We are adopting this report. But when you make noise, sit down. Members, please sit down. Honorable members, sit down.
Presentation by the chair, he called the citizens of Rwanda Banyarwanda, which is incorrect. The citizens of Rwanda are Rwandans. And we should,
that is okay.
We should correct that on our answer.
That one should be corrected in the answer. Yes, Hajat.
I'm a granddaughter of Banyarwanda. Those are my mothers. Allow me amend and add one or other resolution. I don't want to go into the merits. I can realize your fears. Right, Honorable Speaker?
Yes.
The prayer number 2.
Respect the person on the floor. Respect the person holding the floor.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Prayer number 2 is about there's so many difficulties people are encountering at NERA. And then the resolutions and the recommendations have been made on insufficiency of evidence that was taken before them. But it does not mean that people are not finding a lot of difficulties. So we would like to urge the ministry, NERA, and that they take care of interests of indigenous Banyarwanda that have been in the country, not to be denied by official documents. That's the national ID and the passport. That recommendation, I really take care of your fears.
Ajat, that is operational and generic. Even just Ugandans who are known to be Ugandans prove that you're Ugandan, you're coming from this area. That's generic. That's operational. That one should not be in
but
yes.
right, Honorable Speaker.
No, but that is okay.
With your permission, right, Honorable Speaker. I earlier came to this Parliament.
Honorable Speaker, having listened to the report of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs, and having attentively also listened to your guidance and the response of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, indicating to this House that on the 25th of October, His Excellency the President met the group that had petitioned Parliament, whose report has been presented on the floor. He even committed that he will solve this issue. And also looking at the fact that the matter in countries, Uganda, when you talk about Rwandese, you're talking about Rwanda. Right Honorable Speaker, the report of the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs be adopted by this Parliament with the amendment made through the correction. I beg to move.
Honorable members, Prime Minister made a commitment that is an executive action being taken. Can you see it? That there is an executive action being taken by government. It was discussed in the cabinet and actions are being taken already. So we will not adopt the report because the other one supersedes the report of today. So we want to thank you. We will wait for your response. We will wait for the response from the minister on the actions that have been taken. Next item. To make a follow-up on what you raised in the report. That is what is happening. It has already been discussed and it is taking it up itself.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to the Speaker, the issue is now about time frame, because as we are talking, these people want passports. They want their documents, and they don't have IDs. So I would seek your indulgence through the Madam Speaker to know the time frame that would report back to Parliament. Thank you.
In order to cross the front row of the right-hand side to the front row to the left. On the Minister Kampala, State Minister Kampala.
Honourable members, I want my people to leave. Let the Prime Minister first commit, and I have my people leave.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I thought I would get some very quick guidance from you before the Prime Minister does come. Right Honourable Speaker, the doctrine of separation of powers is a preponderant doctrine. Parliament has got its modus operandi. The executive is a separate arm of government. I thought, Right Honourable Speaker, that it would be prudent for us as Parliament to execute our mandate. Because there's a committee report, let's do what we want with it. As Parliament, we can even say we have thrown out the report, or that we are adopting the report, whatever the case might be. But the executive should also do its work. I am not too sure when we abdicate our responsibility as Parliament, because there's a petition that came, it was processed by a committee, and it has come to us. Right Honourable Speaker, I would think that we neatly finish our job as Parliament and let the executive also execute its mandate, but that there be no fusion. For us, we should neatly, in my view, we neatly finish our job. We have a committee report before us. Let's process it, deal with it as we deem fit. And I'm finishing, Honourable Minister.
I'm on a point of procedure.
Come again?
Is there procedure?
I raised on procedure. You were not attentive, Honourable Minister. Let me finish my point of procedure. Let me finish my point of procedure, then you will come.
Okay.
Calm down, Honourable Minister.
Honourable Lob.
So, but I was saying, if we could finish neatly as Parliament, then the executive, whether it be out of that committee report or whatever the case might be, does its job too. Thank you.
Powers, but we complement each other because this involves the multi-sectoral approach. If the owner of the sponsor is in agreement with us, he is in agreement, yes. You are not the sponsor. You give the sponsor. You give Honourable Sewung.
Minister should be sitting at the back bench, but he's seated in front here, very irregular here, but he's causing problems. No. Madam Speaker and the other members, Madam Prime Minister, you see, the Speaker was saying that we adopted a report. And once we adopt a report with the challenges in it, that we are going to cause a debate, you as the Prime Minister came out and you gave evidence that our team, our group, met Genome 7 in State House, as you stated. But even the name is okay, it's on record. So, once you gave that, I am against adopting a report that is challengeable on the floor. I can assure you that. So, that's why I asked for time frame. Because at the end of the day, this report will suffice in Parliament. In case you don't meet the required time over the
Thank you
Speaker
very
was,
much, Right Honourable
There's a
Speaker.
procedure matter.
I heard the government chief whip right clear, moving a motion that the report of the committee be adopted. You asked whether, I heard the government chief whip.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, I want members to believe in government. One of the reasons being that the team that brought a petition here already met the President, like I said. On 28th of October, the President briefed Cabinet and guided, and the issues are being acted on by the ministry. I am now giving a time frame. Honourable Speaker, I beg that government be given 2 months to act on this.
Thank you. And keep giving us updates. Keep giving us updates on it.
Item 8 on the order paper, statement by the Right Honourable Prime Minister on government business for the succeeding week, 3rd to 5th December 2024.
Honourable Prime Minister.
kyokutambula si ensonga kati. Ensonga eriwo government butabira coordinated. Kati bwe bategedde nti bano basinkana president, Mwami Museveni ate nokkiriza report esomebwe erimu ebikyamu ebitali bituufu nga bisinga obungi mu report kyokola mbasi kitegeera naye olwokuba nti ensonga eno eri sensitive myezi 2 si bbanga ddene nti ekisooka bano abantu balina obutuuze balina amaka gaabwe balina ebibanja balina bajjajjaabwe baziise wano tewolina bwogenda bajjako obutuuze kankubuulire ekintu ekirina okukolebwa mu constitution ya Uganda kusitula kuva 1926 kugitwala mu 1956 kasita okola ekyo oba omaze okukola clearinga kubanga 1926 okutuuka ku independence Banyarwanda abo baali bamaze mu Uganda emyaka 3 ne babafuula Abannayuganda bennyini kati bw'obala aba 1956 bagamba n'otuuka n'oyawula ku 2023 kati giba emyaka 6 kati lwaki ogamba bamaze emyaka 6 nti si batuuse nga baali balomba emyaka 3 baali Bannayuganda oba ntegeereka ndoza nkivuze bulungi
abatula n'atuwuliriza Abanyarwanda mikwano gyange era baganda bange era abalonzi bange okuva mu kiboga fe ogwaffe tugukoze naye eddembe lyammwe eririnyirirwa ate abalirinyirira bwe tugezaako bagambako ate batya okubagambako naye tugenda mu maaso n'okulabika nti eddembe lyammwe livaayo ekyokubeera nti muyina privileges nnyingi tekibajjaako kulinywa ku ddembe lyammwe lino lyakufuna biboogerako era Prime Minister tusuubiza emyezi 2 bakomewo ne kye basazeewo ku nsonga eno naye nze mmanyi kubanga byonna tubibabuulidde bibanyigiriza manyi bagenda kujja ne resolutions ezimu nga zibayambako okufuna obutuuze n'ebiwandiiko ebiboogerako muleme kubeera na bu voter slips bwokka omulundi guno tunywere nti bw'oba toyina ndagamuntu ne okuwandiisibwa mu bitabo by'ebibiina n'okulonda naawe kuzire kubanga bw'oba tobalibwanga mu Uganda lwaki bwekituuka okulonda wokka we bakubala ebirala ne batakubala nsaba tunywere ku nsonga eno paka ng'ewedde Bannayuganda abazaaliddwa nga bakulidde mu Uganda Abanyarwanda abazaaliddwa nga bakulidde mu Uganda okuva 1926 ne tujja mu constitution ya 1962 ne tujja mu constitution ya 1995 eggwanga eryo ne lisigala nga ku lisiti y'amawanga agakkirizibwa mu Uganda likyaliko kitegeeza nti eggwanga eryo lirina okubanga weriri nga Uganda ericognizinga so constitution twetaagayo ndooza review ku kawaayiro ako okusobola okutereezaamu otherwise omuntu atuuse emyaka 4 akulidde muno tasobola kwesimbawo tasobola kuregisteringa line za simu tasobola kugulawo bank account tasobola kuregisteringa driving permit tasobola genda kukolerako mu nsi za bweru omuntu bwati emirembe abatalina ate naffe Abaganda abali mu districts zaffe nga Kiboga naffe tuwulira byo okubeera n'omuntu bwatyo security tuba tutya so tosobola muntu kumulaba nti ayina kyakoze toyina bw'omuloopa kakati twetaaga tuveeyo bulungi tumalize ensonga eno era Prime Minister tusuubiza oluvannyuma lw'emyezi 2 bwana emyezi 2 bwe ginnaggwako nga tetulaba tugenda kubeera tumujjukiza
tubonabonedde emyaka egisoba mu 3 emyezi 2 si kyekinene tujja kulinda tubonabonedde emyaka egisoba mu 3 abantu baffe baba ma national IDs baba ma passports bakyafuna mirimo abamu tibagenze kusoma olwokuba tibalina national IDs so emyezi 2 si kinene tujja kulinda but what I can assure you freedom is coming
ate nze kyendabye emyezi 2 kye bategeeza executive order kubanga Prime Minister agambye bwe twamala osinkana president w'eggwanga yajja n'aba briefing mu cabinet nga 28 ogw'e10 kakati agambye bakyakola ku report eyo ku kiwandiiko ku executive process kati ffe tulowooza nga nze omungamba nti kati kyetulinda executive order kubanga president yatusuubiza kati bw'aba yakyanjula mu cabinet kitegeeza ebyo gye tulinda so bwekitibwa president ndowooza emyezi 2 nagyo mingi kubanga abantu bali bubi ddala waliwo abalwadde
omukono guno mulwadde yeetaaga genda kulongoosebwa
bamuma passport kati executive order yanguwe yandize na mande jja kubanga president Museveni akisobola okituwa ku Monday ejja.
N'empozi kye tulabyemu ekirala akakiiko kano ke twasinkana kekuusa kuba byonna bye twayogera si bye bawandiise ababaka baffe Sewungu ne Kaaya be baayogera tebabitaddeemu batuse n'okugamba mbu bamapasipooti mbu baali bannansi ya Rwanda. We are Ugandans 100%. N'ekirala baba bayintaviewinga Abanyarwanda bakyusa embuuza bakubuuza buli kintu kyonna ky'otamanyi olumala obireeta nga bagamba gula obutuuze ngula nti obutuuze mu nsi yange mwe nazaalibwa lwaki mu kulonda tubeera bannayuganda?
You mean you are not satisfied with the reports of the
Yes, very. We are not satisfied.
You can lose those grounds where you were not satisfied with one or
from the submissions you made.
First, all the testimonies that we gave out, they have not been in the report. Yes. The evidence we reduced, it was not put in the submissions. And again, our MPs, Kaya Christine, woman named Fifo Chiboga, and Sewungu, their submissions have not been listed in the report. Yes. The report is vague. So, but I can assure you whether night or day, freedom is coming. Yes. We must be treated like Ugandans. Yes. Because we are Ugandans 100%. Yes. We are not Rwandans. We are not Rwandans, we are Ugandans 100%. That's why in every election in Uganda, we are given voters' slips to vote. Can you allow non-citizens to participate in the voting process in Uganda? We are Ugandans 100%. Byonna bye twateekayo tebibadde mu report. Ekyokubiri ababaka baffe bye bateeka mu submission zaabwe tebabitadde mu report. N'eki abaana bye bagambye mu babazuula nti bannansi ba Rwanda Jesus bulimbwa 10 ku 10. Kankwesebo butukola how our people apply for passports. Bw'amala okwapplyinga passport afune baluwa LC LC3, LC5, giso ne diso na RDC. Okakasa nti oyo muntu muki muna Uganda. Bw'amala obitwalenga bagamba bino mazo bireta katireta graduated taxes abajjajjaabwe za 1926. Mu Uganda teri abiyina ababiyina be baana b'olyo lulangira olwa Buganda olwa Bunyolo ne Busoga ne Museveni yennyini tabiyina kankubulire tabiyina.
N'ekirala kye njagala mutegeere abamawulire, go for naturalization. That means that there is some nationality which you must first renounce.
Yes. Thank you.
You understand? Yeah. You must be having some nationality which you must first renounce so that you naturalize.
Then you should renounce being Ugandans, I think.
Then for somebody who has never had any other nationality, how does he or she naturalize? Which nationality, previous nationality, will this person renounce? Kwegamba omuntu agenda mu naturalization olina kubanga olina eggwanga eddala mw'obadde. Kakati omuntu atabeerangako na ggwanga ddala kwega waawano muna Uganda aneewakana ggwanga ki eddala eritabaddeewo. Naturalization mulina ogyetegeeza nti erinamu akantu ako.
Kambawe n'akafembayo kano clear egamba okubeera muna Uganda oyina okuba ng'obelonginga to the below listed indigenous communities n'Abanyarwanda mwetuli. Neyonga negamba nti omuntu yenna yasangibwa mu Uganda nga 8 October 1962 a day before independence yafuuka muki muna Uganda. Ulira constitution 1995 ate nekyongeramu nti omuntu abadde muna Uganda olunaku constitution wetase eya 95 akontinuinga kubeera ki muna Uganda. N'abaana bakoze eki bazadde. Njagala bambulireyo olunaku lumu nti waliwo Munyarwanda gwe bali baganya okulonda wano. Fena tukola ki? Tulonda. Mu kulonda tuli banna Uganda, okulonda bwe kuggwa we cease to be Ugandans.